I was talking to my brother last night, and he asked me, when is jealousy not a sin? And the reason he asked me was because in the Bible it does describe jealousy as a sin, and it also describes um, God as jealous. And that seems to be problematic. I mean, when you think of jealousy, you kind of think of something that's very petty and childish and something that you should be able to get over. Um, Yet it seems to attribute this to God. Why would, if God is so great, then why is he acting so jealous, like a child? Um, and the people who I've met, the people who are not Christians and don't believe in God, they seem to know this quite well. They're like, "Oh, your God is so jealous and all this and all that," and even Richard Dawkins kind of picks up on it and labels it as a vice. He has this quote: "The God of the Old Testament is arguably the most unpleasant character in all of fiction, jealous and proud of it." And he goes on, but and I'll link it. I'll link the. I think that's in it's in his book, The God Delusion. But um, yeah, I mean, why would God be so jealous if it's such a vice? God should not be that way. But there are times where jealousy is not a sin. There are times, I think, in our cultural understanding, we do understand jealousy to be something very childish, something very not godlike. But with God, with God, there are times where jealousy is okay and is appropriate, and it is a kind of justified, righteous jealousy. So, when are you qualified to be jealous? And when are you okay to be jealous? The only time it is okay to be jealous is when something rightfully belongs to you and it is not given to you. For example, I'm a guy, and if I one day have a daughter and I love her very much and I treat her right and I feed her and I give her shelter and I love her mother and I deserve to have the number one dad mug. Um, and then one day she runs out of my house, go hugs this stranger and says, "Daddy." Well, I'm her dad, not that stranger isn't her dad. I'm her dad. And for her to go up to some guy and say and call him dad, like, no, that's not okay because the title dad belongs to me. I'm her dad. I've been a father to her. And so it is okay for me in that case to be jealous because the title of dad belongs to me and no one else. The same thing can be said about marriage. If I'm married and my wife goes out and um, finds starts flirting with some other guy, I can be jealous because her sexuality is reserved for just us and not some third party. And so those are cases where jealousy is okay and jealousy is righteous and justified. That is when something that belongs to you is not given to you and given to someone else. So then, well, the next question to ask is, well, what belongs to God? Well, I think that answer is quite obvious. Everything belongs to God. God is Lord and sovereign over everything. So God can be jealous about anything, and it's okay because He is Lord over everything. So it is never wrong for God to be jealous because jealous is when something you're entitled to is not given to you, and everything should be given to God. So anything that is not given to God and God says He's jealous, it is okay for God to be jealous. And there's nothing childlike or childish about that. So there you have it.